Hi, my name is Rachel and welcome to How to Connect with Goddess Iris. Iris is the Greek goddess of divine messages, of peace and of the rainbow. She was known as both messenger and mediator. She would carry divine messages from the gods to each other and also to humans, and she would also lead the souls of the dead through down into the afterlife. The rainbow was both her symbol, her pathway, and her personification. She can support you with unification and wholeness, so bridging any places of polarity or separation. She can also help by lighting and healing a broken heart or spirit, offering her message of promise, of peace, and of healing. So here are my top 3 tips for connecting with her. My first tip is to connect to her symbol of the rainbow. So in Greek, Iris actually means rainbow. And the rainbow was her pathway. So think of an aeroplane in the way that it leaves a cloud trail behind it. So the rainbow was seen as a pathway that she actually used when she was traveling, between gods and humans with her messages, but also personification of her, so a symbol. So when you saw it, you knew that Iris was present, and it would bring forth her themes and her healing and her messages of peace and hope and promise. It was a promise of there being a connection, a point of connection between the divine and humans. So I invite you to connect with the rainbow whenever you see one, to feel her and know her presence, to reflect, to stay and spend a moment where you are still, where you are breathing, and just listen to her, and perhaps use the rainbow as a way to bridge or use as a pathway to send forth your prayers or your wishes or your dreams. You may also want to bring her symbol of the rainbow into your space, so perhaps an altar space, a ceremony, a ritual, or even just in your artwork and journaling. So you may want to paint it, draw it, create it, sew it. You may want to use it, like I have behind, as the colours of the rainbow somehow in an altar cloth or in your clothing. You may want to have a prism upon your altar, so a prism, where it draws in the light and creates the rainbow. You may want to meditate or dance with the symbol of the rainbow, looking upon it or wearing it, which leads me to another way to connect to the rainbow, which is through the chakras. So the chakras are our energy points, and they are the colours of the rainbow, from the root, down at the bottom, all the way through to indigo and violet in our crown and third eye. And she is a goddess that can support you with not only connecting to all of the chakras, but to healing all of them as well. And often goddesses are particularly connected to a certain chakra and have particular kind of ways of aligning with that chakra, but she's one goddess that can help you with all of them, and particularly all of them when you are working with them in unity. So say if you were to dance, yoga, meditate through the chakras, she would be an ally that could carry you through that whole journey. There is a saying that says that wisdom is at the end of the rainbow, and this is about kind of like that traveling through, as she would, across the rainbow, the traveling up and through the chakras. So as you work through each one, you're bringing wholeness and unity. So when we reach the top, we have worked through all of them, brought them all into balance. So my next tip is to connect to the iris flower. So the flower that has her name was named in honor of her. Now you may want to bring the iris into your space again, so perhaps in a vase on the altar. You may also want to plant the iris in your garden. It's a Mediterranean plant, so it likes that kind of climate. It likes, the heat on its root, and it flowers, between June, July, all the way through to September, possibly, prime in July and August. You may also want to work with iris flower essence. Now, if you do go out in your garden, you can make iris flower essence, or you can always get that essence off me if you wish. So iris flower essence is about bringing a connection and a strengthening of that connection between your body and the divine, body and spirit, and body and the earth. So again, it's about creating those bridges and having those open bridges that are healthy and have a flow of give and receive is going to help to bring you vitality. Iris flower essence will also help you to see the divine in everything, so you can find it at any point of connection, whether that be in other people or whether that be in the flowers, in your food, in your activities, your practices, your words, etc. And then also iris flowers were also deeply connected to the afterlife. So again, this is linked with Iris as, you know, the goddess that would carry, support and guide the souls into Elysium, so the Greek afterlife. And the iris was often placed on graves to try and bring the departed peace, and also into flower wreaths, you know, and decoration around, you know, the funerals and the not the celebrations, but, you know, the activities that were done around the funeral. It was a flower that was frequently and very commonly used. So you can use the iris to, in memoriam of your loved ones and your departed. You can use it in that way as well. And also you can use it symbolically in your own ceremonies and rituals of endings. So endings such as the end of a relationship or the end of a period of time, you know, when you're leaving and transitioning something, maybe into a new version of yourself, or moving house or something, you may want to have iris to support you in that way. My third tip is the element of water. She's a daughter of both the sky and water, air and water. So her father was a titan of the sky, her mother was a titan of the ocean. And also the rainbow is a union of both water and light. So she can support you with your connection with the element of water, and the element of water can support you in your connection with her. Water in particular would be rain. So rain is that union and that way that water travels through the air. So it's a perfect combination of her two principal elements. So you may want to bring water again into your ceremony, your ritual, your altar space. You may want to connect with her when you see the rainbow and see the droplets in the air turning into a rainbow, or perhaps the rainbow, meditate on it as it, you know, glistens over the sea and touches the sea. That would be a perfect combination of air and sea there. And I also invite you to bring in the number 7, which is sacred to her. You know, the 7 chakras, the 7 colours of the rainbow. 7 is highly symbolic. You've got the 7 celestial bodies of the ancients, and then you've also got, you know, the 7 musical notes. I could go on and on and on. 7 is highly symbolic. So you may want to use the number 7 in your connection with water, in that you take 7 drops, 7 glasses, 7 libations, you know, anything like that where you're using that number 7. If you do collect water, say dewdrops or 7 drops of the ocean, you may want to do so in a golden jug. So a golden jug is one of her symbols, and it's also one of her instruments. So she would use the golden jug to take the water from the river Styx and then use it. So when it was poured, it would seal an oath or a promise, for example, if the gods were making this. So you may want to put it into that golden vessel and keep for ceremony, or just keep on your altar, perhaps when you want to make an oath or a promise. Excuse me. You may also want to use the 7 essential oils, or 7 essential oil drops, 7 drops of flower essences to mark or anoint your 7 chakra points. So before I lose my voice, those are my top 3 tips. I hope they're supportive and helpful for you in your connection to Iris. Any questions, please pop them below. I'm happy to elaborate or answer any other questions that you may have about anything I've said or about Iris. You can also share your biggest takeaway, anything you've loved, in my Facebook group, which is there a community for all those that love goddess mythology and feminine healing. And also I'm a best-selling author, so I have books about goddess mythology, and I'll pop the link down below for you to find all about my books and to connect more. So send you lots and lots of love and rainbow blessings from my heart to yours. Blessed be. Mwah.